Um, Once again, the same old things. I scroll down this show. I like to watch these cut videos. It's about like all kind of things. And usually, when they have this show, it's called a button, and it's usually like a date thing where random people date, and then when you don't like him, you press the button and you move on to the next person. But I scroll down and I see that, and I'm like, oh, these people look really young. Like usually this is adults, so I'm like, oh, they really just look really young. Am I that much older than these people? And I look down, it's like, oh, this is because they're teenagers. And I'm like, and they're like, of course, they try to create some kind of perception. Usually I look at them, it's like, oh my gosh, they look like kids, right? But they actually are kids. That's why they look like kids in this case. And so I'm like, obviously you see two pictures here. The thumbnail is it's not as obvious that they're like the kid, like, is more obvious when you see the actual video. When you see the videos, like, oh my gosh, they're babies, and they're like high school kids, right? High school teenagers, and they're babies, right? And so of course they're going to try to force me to accept these things. It's so nasty, it's so foul. It's the things I deal with 24/7. Every time they do these things, they want me to subscribe to these pedophilia things, because when I was like in my 20s, there's somebody who looked like an adult, who looked like in her 20s, but she wasn't. She was actually a high school student, as a high school kid, when she looked like a 20-some-year-old. These kids look like kids. I have no doubt, like, especially when you look at the videos, even if let's just say I didn't think that they were, like, if I didn't know the age, I was like, these are really young people, really, really young. But when I saw the title, I realized, okay, no wonder they look so young. They're actually teenage kids. And when you look at the video, and that's why I have two screenshots. I have the thumbnail here, and next to it, you see the picture of, like, these two people, right? Two teenage kids. And they, like, try to make me perceive them in a sexual way, try to make me look at them in a way that I would find them appealing. It's nasty. And it's the foul things they do to me. Every time I look at children, they're going to do some foul things, from the babies to the older kids, like them. And it's just things that I'm not going to, there's nothing I can do. And, like, initially I noticed when I was looking at the thumbnail, because you don't see the full body, like, you don't see the body of this kid. This kid are just really skinny, typical teenage kids physique, I would say. And so they would try to, like, create some, like, ways of looking at this kid in a more appealing way. And it's just a lot of manipulations. It's just non-stop messing with me. And just trying to create these perceptions. And I'm thankful that, at least in the video, it's just so hard for them to pass for anybody else but children. But if this kid looked more like an adult, they would have, it would be like a real battle. Thankfully, this kid is a kid and looks like a kid, and there's not gonna be any, like, it's gonna be manipulated, but it's just like, please, you think this person will ever do anything to me? Even if, let's just say, she was not even a kid, but she is a kid. She looks like a kid. She even talks like a kid. Everything about her is just like teenagey. But as always, I gotta say this: they do these manipulations, and these manipulations are things they do systematically. And as you can hear, they even do these things and systematically target children of teenagehood.
Today, they continue with the programming of perversion, but this time they are aiming in the use. A people, better said young people, also children for the torture and stalking, street theater etc. Especially teenagers for the stalking at close range with an attitude. They are using them during my sleep in the perversion program, and so you can imagine what the slaves of torture
or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind. Additionally, the targeting is all highly perverted and sexual as well.